Hey, how's it going? Today we're outside and taking a hike. A little bit of backpacking hike. Got my hiking stick here, my walking stick. I actually have a couple of those. It was like 20 bucks off Amazon. Great investment for doing any kind of hiking or what have you. Got my backpack on. Got some essentials. We'll go through those later, but for now, we're just gonna get out, enjoy some fresh air, and hike through the woods. Wow, look at this. Looks like a tree's down. And here's the back end of the roots. Huge, big wall there. Looks like somebody's kind of built a bit of a shelter there on that down tree. Cool. Nice. Well, we're at a bit of a crossroads here. We came from this direction. We've got this big open path here. Looks like some old cornfields and such back there. And a nice rustic trail going this way where no motorized vehicles are allowed. Let's go this way. Oh, this is gonna be good. Let's see what we got. I'm sorry, but it looks to me like there's been some four-wheelers down through here. Now, one thing you gotta always watch when you're out hiking is the weather. We've got a forecast for rain today, almost guaranteed, but that's a couple hours away. Although those dark clouds look like they might be rolling in some rain. Well, it's a good thing that I have in my pack a poncho, so in case it comes raining, I'll be covered. Another thing you really want to be careful of out on the trail, unfortunately this is a nice beat down trail here, but there's usually a lot of poison ivy. I believe this is poison ivy, poison oak, especially in the fall when you see the leaves start to turn a little bit yellow and red. That means the oils are very much on the leaves, and they are very potent. That oil is what irritates your skin and creates the rash and the itchiness. So be careful. It's nice to stay in established trails and not go traipsing off on their little game trails like that one into the woods where all the poison ivy is. When I go for a hike in the trail where there's a lot of weeds and potentially poison ivy, what I'll do is make sure I take a good shower, rinse off whenever I get back. So I've had poison ivy a lot as a kid. Sometimes it's been in places we don't want to talk about. Other times it's been on my face, like swollen my eyes closed and such like that. So I've just learned that whenever I'm done being outside, be real careful and wash that stuff off. And if you feel an itch, don't scratch it because that's how it spreads. So Don't be scratchy. Just ignore your itches if you have one here or there, and wash that stuff off as soon as you can. Ooh, a few mosquitoes out here today. One thing I usually do is bring with me is a little bit of bug spray off, or just anything that takes care of bugs. I've found that the organic stuff, the natural stuff, isn't quite as effective as just the good old-fashioned DEET, those things. So you use what works best for you. That's what I use. So I haven't really sprayed any on my face and around my arms and stuff, mostly on my feet and legs. I don't have any problem down there, but they seem to be buzzing me. I hear them in my ears. That's all right, no problem. The faster you go, the more wind you create and the fewer bugs. When I'm hiking through the woods, I always like to take note of the tree. And this is a nice park with some maintained trails, but notice through the weather and the lightning and what have you, there's a lot of trees that fall, and you can kind of think about the history and the life of those trees and what has happened to them. And then of course the workers for the park will come and cut up or process that wood and make sure they remove it from the trail when they can. But looks like this is a recent fall right up here, and we've got the branches right across the trail. So that causes me to venture off into the weeds and get past it. Now let's see, we might be able to do this through underneath and around. Oh yeah, oh, easy peasy. Oh, Yeah, made it through that just fine. I love this. Here's another spot where a tree actually fell over and created a little bit of a kind of a cave underneath. So you got the dirt wall right there behind it. Looks like they've been back here cleaning it up a bit, but interesting. Another big one. Looks like it's gonna go soon. Super nice. I love hiking through the woods and finding the trails nearby. This one is probably, maybe 15-20 minutes from my house, and it's like totally immersed in the woods. Tons of nature all around you. I've mentioned, but one of the apps that I use is called All Trails, and that's pretty good about identifying where there are trails around you and where there are biking trails or paddling trails or hiking trails. That's actually a pretty good resource. This park and these trails are actually not in that app. I'm a bit surprised about that. But what I'm doing is I'm recording this and these trails today, and I'm going to submit it as a new entry because that app is user fed. So you can give feedback on the apps that are, on the trails that are out there, what the condition is, and if there's some cool established trails that aren't in there, you can go ahead and add them and register it as a new trail. So that's what I'm doing with this one. Well, since this is a park district, they've got some nice pavilion and picnic tables here. Take a little break here. You know what I'll do? I'll stop here and show you what I put in my pack, kind of standard for hiking. I got just a nice, cheap outdoor products pack. This is nice, super inexpensive, lifetime warranty. I love this brand, good stuff. Walmart, Menards, places like that carry it. Inside here I have poncho. I have a little bit of just first aid readiness, lip balm. I got a water purifier, a bug band, some band-aids, emergency blanket, things like that. Just in a little zippy. side pockets. Always carry some water. You need that for drinking, for cooking. Over here, I've got, a light. I've got just a headlamp right there. In that pocket. Over here, I've got my sunglasses and that water bottle pocket. Today's a short hike, so I didn't bring a lot of water. And some binoculars in case I want to take a closer look at some wild animals or something. Let's see, on this very top pocket, I like this one because it's easy access. In here is a nice potty kit. We've got some sanitizer, some dog poop bags, some toilet paper, and wet wipes. So if you need a potty, if you need to go, you got everything you need. So good stuff there. And I always put some carabiners on this, so in case I want to strap on a bottle of water or an Nalgene bottle or something like that, that's totally fine too. Love my hammock in case I want to stop and take a rest. The hammock, that's self-contained, has tree straps, has everything in there. Also with the hammock, let's see, we also have a tarp. Always have a tarp. So there's some string in there, some carabiners. That's a nice waterproof tarp. You can string up over your ridgeline or your hammock if you need. I brought some food. In here is some of my famous freezer bag meals. These things are delicious and they're homemade. You can spend 10 bucks on a Mountain House or something like that, but I spent $1 on a packet of chicken, and I got another $1 on a packet of instant potatoes. I use about half of that, and I put a cup of instant rice in there. So I have some food, and it's a nice warm meal there. And I use my little cook pot with just a tiny isobutane tank and a little stove that has a self-igniter lighter on it, and a little stove, a little cook pot here. This is a Stanley 2-cup cook set. Inside, again, I've got some butane. There's a little tiny, it's probably a $10 or so stove. It's just a burner. It has an igniter on it. So then what I'm able to do is take my water bottle and put a couple of cups of water in my Stanley cook pot, heat it up, boil it, and then pour it in my freezer bag. Make sure you're using a freezer bag so it doesn't like melt through. With the chicken and the rice and the potatoes and the seasonings, makes a delicious hot meal. So what else do I have in here? A couple snacks. I've got some beef jerky. I always carry a little bit of beef jerky in there. That's light, it's good protein. Let's see, a couple other things. I always carry a contractor bag, trash can liner. That's about a 3 mil thick. That's good for a tarp or ground cloth, or even just picking up trash along the way. I carry a knife just in case, you know, you never know. Plus I also have my Gerber dime on a carabiner here on my belt loop. So that has a multi-tool that has a lot of use and function. And that's pretty much everything I carry in here. So not a whole lot. It's nice to have everything you need on your back. You're prepared in case anything comes up. Gives you an opportunity to rest. Gives you an opportunity to have a meal. Gives you an opportunity to, you know, stay dry out of the rain with your poncho and your tarp if needed. So you have your safety and your first aid all set. So I always like to just take a little bit of that stuff hiking with me. And some of these things I move around on my kayaking, on my bicycling, whatever. I just take a few things that I might need along the way, and that way I feel prepared and ready in case anything was to come up. Plus, I have the convenience of taking a nap or eating a meal. So, hope that helps. All right, finish packing everything back up here. Let's get back on the trail. Load this up. Pack on, clip your chest strap, tighten it up, you're good to go. Oh, ooh, looky here. That is definitely poison ivy. Poison ivy likes to be a vine that grows up the tree. There's the leaves turning a little bit red and yellow. Yep, that is definitely potent right there. Got to steer clear of that stuff, that's for sure. Sure is beautiful around the wildflowers and such though, isn't it? I love the fall. The ground's covered with leaves. It's beautiful. Ah, isn't it great just to get outside? Oh man, it's so nice just to breathe some fresh air. Think about all the oxygen that these plants and trees are giving off. You got some fresh air, you're not cooped up in the house. Just breathe it in, clear your mind. Again, this is almost kind of magical and therapeutic to be outside and enjoy the beautiful outdoors. Just noticing the world around you. It's nice. And let me encourage you, just take a trip outdoors. And it doesn't have to be out in the woods or in the rustic wilderness with a hammock and cooking out of a pocket stove. You could start with just taking a walk around the block. Taking a walk through your neighborhood. Going outside and sitting in the garage maybe when it's raining. I do that sometimes just to enjoy some outdoors. So think about it. Enjoy the great outdoors. Oh, here we are. Looks like we're wrapping up. Heading back towards the pavilion here. This has been a nice set of trails. I've not been on this one before. And it's beautiful and comfortable and well maintained. I appreciate that. Well, if you have ideas for other things that you would like to see me do, let me know. Put a comment down there. I don't do a lot of solicitation for likes and subscribes and comments and what have you, but feel free to do that if that is something that you might be interested in, if you like seeing these things. Oh, I'm spying a couple of trees that might be good, restful hammock trees before I take off. But yeah, so it was great spending some time with you outdoors today. Look forward to some awesome adventures coming up in the future. So stay tuned. I try to put a video out maybe once a week, a couple times a week usually. Maybe one good adventure, maybe one that's more of a tips or tricks or a review of a kayak launch or something like that, a piece of gear or what have you. So stay tuned and hope you enjoy. Have a great one. And remember, go outside. This is the life. Very nice.